So, but we have today, right here, right now, Heather Rupe. And so
Glad to be here.
Yeah, so let's hear something else.
All right, well, I wrote this. It's one of my kind of angry, sort of, I don't know. I wrote this to keep boys away, but then the creepy boys, that doesn't do anything to keep them away, and it only scares away the good ones. So it's called Speck. Day by day, you're giving me persistence. Night by night, I'm putting up resistance. And I just thought maybe you need me to explain. You're gonna wish you ain't never seen my face. 'Cause I come in awful strong and I love you like heck. And I'll give you all I got, save for one little speck. And that speck gets awful noisy. Well, that speck gets awful cold. That speck's always gonna tell me I was doing better alone. And there I go, walking away, leaving you wishing you ain't never seen my face. Well, so you aren't unexpectedly destroyed. I'm telling you what you need to avoid. Don't get yourself hooked on me like some rainbow trout. Inevitably I'll be seeing myself out. 'Cause I come in awful strong and I love you like heck. And I'll give you all I got, save for one little speck. And that speck gets awful noisy. When that speck gets awful cold, that speck's always gonna tell me I was doing better alone. And there I go, walking away, leaving you wishing you ain't never seen my face. Well, I may be soft, I'm doe-eyed, and I'm kind, but I'll protect my speck with all my might. Or is she protecting me in this round? Well, I don't recommend trying to pin her down. 'Cause I come in awful strong and I'll love you like heck. And I'll give you all I got, save for one little speck. And that speck gets awful noisy. Well, that speck gets awful cold. That speck's always gonna tell me I was doing better alone. And there I go, walking away, leaving you wishing you ain't never seen my face. Leaving you wishing you ain't never seen my face.
Well, I've got a song I've queued up that's going to answer that. And you can see the title I've got queued up
I
right
like
there.
it.
And it is because Toby Keith, who just passed away, having stomach cancer for a little over 2 years, and it's a rough and tough cancer to have. And he passed away with great dignity, and what a man. But one of the tunes that I'm going to play for you, or this tune that I'm going to play for you, but one of them that he wrote and did, I have a lot of relation to it because with Heather's tune that she just did, I had a relationship that left me quite a few years ago. And after she left, she was gone for quite a long time. And then one day I got a phone call and I heard, "John, I heard you on the radio." And I wanted to say, "How do you like me now?" So that's what we're playing for you right now. How do you like me now? Now, we're again live here in the studio. And I have Heather Rupe here. And she is going to be doing something else. What are you going to be doing next?
Well, this is a song I wrote called "A Little Room to Be Myself." It's about my maternal grandmother. Mama's love was like an ocean of stars. I was swimming in it before I got out of the car. Little red suitcase, Sunday dress too, to take my things to my own little room. Oh, a little room to be myself. Oh, a little room to be myself. supper on the stove just like every night. He'd meow like a cat till he heard a little laugh coming from under the tablecloth. Oh, oh, in my little room to be myself. Oh, oh, gave me a little room to be myself. Digging in her jewelry box, trying on every one of her watches. Everything from the kitchen spoons to under her bed was my own little room. Oh, oh, a little room to be myself. Oh, oh, gave me a little room to be myself. On Sunday, Uncle Cecil's leading the choir. Standing in the choir box, I stand a little higher. Standing on tippy toes, singing to the sky. To my own little room is where I'm gonna fly. Oh, oh, my little room to be myself. Oh, oh, a little room to be myself. Now I'm grown and Mammals gone. Her brother Cecil's also flown home. Now when someone gets to shoving on me, I give myself a little room to just be me. Oh, oh, a little room to be myself. Oh, oh, a little room to be myself. Oh, oh, a little room to be myself.
Great job, Heather. Live here in the studio, folks. And we are about 45 minutes away from the end of the program, and we've got all kinds of things we're going to be doing today. But the main thing is making sure that you get to hear some fabulous music coming right out of Heather's mouth. And that's what you're doing right now, listening to Heather Rupe, and she's doing a great job right here. She conducts a jam session at the Boones Creek Opry, and that is on what nights?
It's on Thursday evenings.
Thursday evenings.
6 to 8.
6 to 8. I think I'm going to go down there and
You really should.
jump
Please
in.
come.
We'd love
Please
that.
come. You'd love it. Or open mic, come and play with us. It would just be a blast to have you.
Yeah.
You should come.
You know, I haven't put my one-stringed instrument on a stage in
Oh,
years.
you should do that.
In years.
Oh, we need him someplace.
And
We'd love it.
I've had an upsurge in folks who have bought or and this is not a commercial, but a couple of folks who have bought from me my instruments long ago have wanted to upgrade, and they have contacted me recently. I custom build only, and these are exquisite works of art that will be finished. But it's starting to boil in my blood again. I've got to get back out and do what I do.
Oh, yes.
And so
well, I would love to have
I'm
you.
very, very, very seriously
Come to
thinking
Knox.
about getting back out and doing the Canjoe again. Not folks don't realize I am a real musician. I do play music, but on one string. And my pick is moving at a speed of 32 to 64 beats a measure. And so, you know, I have to work a lot harder with one string. But I also play multiple stringed instruments, and the fiddle is one of them. So maybe I'll get out there to the Boones Creek
Yeah.
Opry and do something
Anytime,
sometime.
we'd love that.
We'd love it.
Oh, it would be great. How many keys can you play in? Is it tuned in a certain key?
What, my fiddle?
No, your
The
Canjoe.
Canjoe is limited to one key at a
I
time.
thought so, like that also.
But I usually typically will tune it to a key of E and play A out of E.
Okay.
Or I'll tune it to key of D and play G out of D. Or and I can tune it to other tunings. There was a quick little story. I was on the stage at in Nashville at the Nashville Palace, and had the Nashville Palace band backing me up. I get up on the stage, and they asked me what key I was going to do. And I was going to do, I think I did the Tennessee Waltz. I'm pretty sure that's what I did. And I said, E. Well, with the noise in the room, the leader of the band, Steve, said, turned to his band and gave him the D sign, indicating we're in D, which is what typically that tune is played in. But I was playing in A. Or actually, it was E because of the scale on that. So I was tuned to E, one note up above them all. Well, I'm doing my little break, and the band's backing me. I can tell we're not syncing. And so I looked over at the lead guitar picker, and I tossed him the break, and he took off on a break, and I backed out of the microphone for about 30 seconds, dropped the tuning, one quick little turn down to D, swung right back in and took over.
Nice.
And nobody except the band knew the difference. But, yeah, I didn't have to retune the whole entire instrument. Yes, I did. One string. That's all I had to do is turn the key and turn it down.
Well, that must be easier than having a bunch of them.
Well, you also got to be able to hear it. I mean,
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? If you don't hear while I'm tuning, I was sitting there tuning and listening to their key. I didn't have a tuner on it. I just tuned to where I could hear that I'm matching. Moved on. But anyway, there's the story. Now, before we wind up filling up the whole radio show with my stories, let's hear one from you.
All right, I wrote this sort of recently. I wrote the last one sort of recently, too, sort of probably since December or so. This is called Keeper of Time. I feel adrift, yet I'm at peace. The way I fall to anchor my feet, all is calm, like heavy quilts, hung to dry in a fort she built, a locket of gold, a lock of golden hair, a keepsake box somehow spilled there, the hinges rust, the floor's a mess. Daylight streams on the things I love best. The melody's the only keeper of time I trust. The second-hand charges, and I can't keep up. And the hour ensnares me for moving so slow. Songs are the only movement through time I really know. And there's flowers on the paper that's plastered to the walls. And there's walls around the papers read by many dolls. And their eyes may be glass, their hands made of plastic, but they know my limerence more than anyone in passing. The melody's the only keeper of time I trust. The second-hand charges, and I can't keep up. And the hour ensnares me for moving so slow. Songs are the only movement through time I really know. Songs are the only movement through time I really know.
It's the soundtrack of life.
Yeah, that's great. Soundtrack of life.
One great song after another. 96.3, The Possum.
And we are back. We never went anywhere. I hope you didn't either. And I hope that you tune in every Saturday to the Mountain Matinee. Every Saturday from noon until 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And I'm going to repeat it. Yep. Noon until 3 p.m. Eastern Time right here, 96.3 The Possum. And an episode of Such Which I'm Speaking is occurring right now before your very ears. Heather Rupe, right here in the studio. And we have been talking. We've got lots of things going on here behind scenes. We talk and we do things while you're listening to some messages and some music. Sometimes we're gazetting, we're figuring and adding up and taking out. And so anyway, Heather has got some more stuff, but we're going to do one tune today. We're just going to throw it out there. We're going to try to do it together here in just a little while. And Gene, if you're out there listening, it's going to be especially for you since you request this tune. And I'm not going to do it immediately, but we're going to do it here in just a few minutes before we end the show, probably. So, Gene, You'll probably know what the tune is. Once we get to it, you'll definitely know. But right now, just sit there with bated breath. We're going to do you a tune. And so all of you out there who are listening, we're live in the studio. We got about 25 minutes left of the program, and I'm not going to take it all up talking. So here's Heather.
Alrighty, well, I wrote this song this time last year. We were having quite the full spring, and I was just intoxicated with it. So this came out of that. We're having the springtime of fools. Nature don't follow no calendars or rules, and you can go ahead and call me fool, but it's just what I've needed. I'm thawing out, stretching my wings. Daffodils are early, unaware of the next phrase, and I'm the queen fool of this full spring, and it's just what I've needed. I'm gonna sit on the porch and listen to the peepers down by the creek. Smell the fresh soil tilled up by the neighbors who started their garden this week. And this breeze is making me wake. Well, you can go on and mock the queen of full spring, but it's just what I've needed. Well, you can make me a dunce cap for a crown, covered in clover flowers you found, with buttercups and dandelion chains all around. I'll wear it proudly to town. Well, I've got to roll in anyway, get my new seeds. This plot needs tilling, get rid of these weeds, and maybe I'll see you there wearing short sleeves. This is just what we've needed. I'm gonna sit on the porch and listen to the peepers down by the creek. Smell the fresh soil tilled up by the neighbors who started their garden this week. And this breeze is making me weak. Well, you can go on and mock the queen of full spring, but it's just what I've needed. Well, you can go on and mock the queen of full spring, but it's just what I've needed. This is just what we've needed.
Again, good stuff right there. Great stuff. Heather Rupe live in the studio. I've got some more of your tunes queued up. Before we leave today, do you want to do at least one more here of the recorded tunes?
Let's do Could You Love Me One More Time?
Okay, that sounds. And in fact, I listened to that this morning.
Yeah,
So
that's on Stanley Brothers tune, and I love it.
okay, folks, we're going to be listening right now. Could You Love Me One More Time? Heather Rupe doing this tune recorded. Stay tuned.
Could you love me one more time with the love that really is mine? We've waited so long, they say you've gone wrong. Well, have I lost you
Another great recording right there, Heather Rupe. And folks, you're listening again to live music right here on 96.3 The Possum, the Mountain Matinee. And Heather is sitting right across from me. And, well, I've had a great day today. I mean, I've enjoyed it, and I hope that you've enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think we've enjoyed it.
We've got a few more minutes left still to go, but I want to run some messages by you folks, and then we're going to come back around. I'm going to do one tune with these ladies here because we just want to try and see if we can make it work. And so we're gonna do a tune. And Gene, if you're out there listening, you're going to like the tune. So you stay tuned and listen. All of you should like it. We're going to be playing that in just a few minutes, and then we've got a couple more tunes to do, and we'll be heading on. But right now, stay tuned. Listen to the messages. We'll be right back. All right, now we have a little thing up our sleeve right here. We being mostly me. I'm provoking this, and I am going to play for you folks. I do play the fiddle, and I have fiddled for a long time. But every time there's a fiddler in the room, I'm really anxious to sometimes get in there and do some twin fiddling. And this is one of these tunes that is a twin fiddling tune. It's one that really fits so well with two fiddles playing. And so we're going to try to pull it off. It's live, folks. Remember that. Remember that, too. There's no rehearsing. We have not sat in here and worked this all out and figured out who's going to go where and when. We're going to do a live jam right here on the radio for just a couple of minutes. Now, Bob Wills was a man who from Texas roved all over the country playing fabulous music. And so he had a specific fiddle method in his band of style that I actually emulate some. And so I'm going to do the Bob Wills version of this tune. While Vicki is over here, she's going to play along with me, and we're going to see how it works out. And Heather's going to be playing the guitar, I believe. And the name of the tune is called Faded Love. Faded Love for Gene out there who is listening. And I'm going to kick it off here. And so, again, just listening and let you see what you think right here, Faded Love.
guys.
Yeah, well, I had to stop for just a second to flip the microphones on. It helps for the folks out there listening anyway. And I appreciate that you giving me a moment's opportunity to fiddle for just a few seconds with you. Thank you very much. Great stuff right there. And Vicki on the fiddle, Canjoe John on the fiddle, and Heather on the guitar right there, folks, doing Faded Love. Now, we still got a few more minutes, so let's see what else you can throw out there for us, Heather. What have you got?
Okay. I did this song last year at the Tennessee Songwriters Week. It's called Walking Circles. What would I do if I weren't afraid of the skeletons always cast in the shade? Without fear, how would I behave? Or would I stop walking circles between here and the grave? And they're fenced in gates, so how it burns, and leaving my hiding place, so how it hurts, and I'm very aware I'm to blame. What would I do if I could move? If molasses hadn't covered over my shoes? If my mind could be as still as my body, which dares not obey my will? And they're fenced in gates, oh how it burns, and leaving my hiding place, oh how it hurts, and I'm very aware I'm to blame. What if I could break out of the loop, dance and cut short by the onslaught of the blues? If I wasn't stuck, what would I be? Oh, besides the only sometimes being me. And they're fenced in gates, oh how it burns, and leaving my hiding place, oh how it hurts, and I'm very aware I'm to blame, and I'm very aware I'm to blame.
I like the way you write.
Thank you.
Great stuff right there, folks. You're listening again, out there who are listening to the Mountain Matinee, to live music right here in the studio. And Heather is a singer-songwriter from Northeast Tennessee. She said she'd been a lifelong Washington Countyan. Mm-hmm. And so she also conducts jam sessions there on Thursday nights. And that is at the Boones Creek Opry in Gray, Tennessee. And they've got some great lineups coming up for musicians coming on stage over the next few months. I've seen some posts there, and you can find them on Facebook where?
Facebook is Boones Creek Museum and Opry. Just search for that and you'll find us.
Good. There you go, folks. Boones Creek Museum and Opry. And so find out what they got going there and go out there and support local and regional music and the Opry.
Have a blast.
Yeah, it is. I'm sure it's a great place. Really? I've heard a lot about it. I know Dolores, who I've known for many years, loves to go out there. And she was just there recently you had Sapling Grove on.
Yes,
And
yes.
she was there to hear Sapling Grove. I've jammed with a few of those guys too, and they are all top-notch musicians.
Absolutely, that was a great show.
I'm sure. I would have been there myself if I could have been that particular event. Dolores wanted me to go, and I wasn't able to get there, but I'm sure it was a wonderful event, without doubt.
Oh, it was beautiful. Yeah.
In fact, I think I played a show with Sapling Grove probably 30 years ago. And
Oh,
that's
wow.
the last time that I've seen them, and I didn't even realize they were still out playing.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, let's hear another tune, and then we'll be in just a few minutes heading on out of our heading out on our way to do what we do for the rest of the day. But for right now, let's hear some more music.
All right. Well, this song is a little different than the style I normally play. It's kind of more jazzy. I met this woman at my last job. Her name was Sharon. She was 68 years old and had severe advanced dementia. And she was almost nonverbal when I met her, but we had a connection that just was almost telepathic. I knew what she needed. And it's the ones that are too young to be in a place like that that really break my heart. And this is for Sharon. It's called Lovely Revelator. I've been watching the crows at the hospital. Magnolia murder, unstoppable. Strange croaks groaning and clicks, so they're building a universe with each day. And I am weaving a path back to sharing these daffodils like a torch I'm bearing. My feet spring out of the elevator swiftly toward my lovely she's here and she looks at me just as I am. And Sharon, all of those times you were trapped inside, well, I saw it because I know what it's like, and I knew that I knew how you ticked, and I could not use language to articulate it. Home, following the eyes of these gathered alone. Sharon, you seem more vacant these days, but you still brighten when you see my face. And Sharon, all of those times you were trapped inside, well, I saw it because I know what it's like, and I knew that I knew how you ticked, and I could not use language to articulate it.
Wow, good stuff. Heather Rupe, right here, live in the studio. Gene, I did get your message, and thank you for appreciating that we did your tune, Faded Love, just for you. No, it wasn't just for you, Gene, but you can think it was. It was for everybody. But, Gene, aren't you everybody? You represent everybody out there who are listening, and we appreciate all of you listening. And, Heather, you're doing great. Let's hear another one before we run out of time. I want you to do what you will to fill the air with this great stuff.
Okay. This is a gospel song I wrote about my journey. I've studied the ins and outs of these holy doubts. Despite my lack of sight, I just cannot renounce the light. I may never learn
one right there.
Thank you.
And folks, we're getting close to the end of the program today, this episode, that is, and we'll be back on next week. We have, again, another guest coming in, Zach McNabb. So make sure you tune in next week from noon until 3 p.m. to the Mountain Matinee. Heather, again, it's been fabulous having you on today. Is there anything that, with parting words, that you would like to say to the audience?
Well, just come to the Opry. The more the merrier. We want you to come to the Opry.
We've got great popcorn.
We have great popcorn, yeah. That's Karen makes it. She does a fabulous job.
Popcorn queen.
That's right. So.
All right. Well, that's been great, and we've really enjoyed having you. And in fact, I want to get you back on sometime in the near future, if you will.
Absolutely.
And